everyone. Today I'm here with Elroy Natachu. He is a textile artist and also a painter, a diverse artist. Elroy, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm a painter and textile artist from a Pueblo community here in Zuni. I've been working in painting for roughly 10 years or more. I kind of lose track over time. As for textiles, I started when I was 10 years old. And so I've been working in the field roughly for 20 years in Pueblo embroidery. I'm currently working on weaving in larger formats, but my main source of artwork that I'm known for are my two-dimensional work.
For your two-dimensional work and your textiles, you said, where did the inspiration to get into art and do artwork at a fine art level come from?
A lot of it stems from my family and cultural upbringing. My family is very religious, and we are very much involved with our cultural activities here, and a lot of it is self-taught from oral history. A lot of my family are artisans in various fields, so as a collective, it sort of influenced me to explore more of that artistic realm. Originally, it was through textile arts. That was a way that we were able to generate funds when we needed to pay for bills, food, and things like that. But my main love of art kind of occurred when I was in high school and university years, where I studied at the University of New Mexico, Gallup branch and main campus. And from there, I sort of studied studio arts where it encompassed a broad range, and a lot of it kind of threw me out of my original element and upbringing of what I was taught to do artistically, and that's how my style has developed from then on. And a lot of my artwork is focused on fine detail and a lot of the representation of the oral history and a lot of the cultural history with Pueblo textiles.
That's interesting that how an artist is often built from their experiences and family and community is usually that foundation. Now that you've gone this far in your art career, and what are you currently working on now?
What's great about being a multi media artist is I can jump around from one medium to another. Currently, I'm brainstorming on some new ideas, trying to get ready for the Herd show that'll be happening in March. So I'm prepping my canvases, sketching, and trying to get down new ideas. At the same time, I'm doing a lot of restoration pieces on a lot of the olden textiles that I have in my collection. And I utilize those to teach classes. I just currently finished teaching a Pueblo embroidery class with the Herd Museum as part of their cultural education programs.
Well, now you're also a teacher. I think that's interesting that you get to, like you said, restore older works or in your collection. What have you found as you do that? Have you found that the techniques and materials have, maybe changed over time?
Ancestrally, Pueblo textiles were vast in their weaving methods and also the actual fibers that they used. Originally, Pueblo textiles were yucca based, and then with the introduction of cotton, that was a trade item from Mexico. Once it came up this way, we sort of took it and ran with sort of material. And you'll notice with a lot of the textiles in various museum vaults is it's based on necessity what types of materials they use. A lot of times you'll find yarns from blankets that were traded, like Germantown yarns, and a lot of them were already pre existing textiles that were taken apart to utilize those threads, and you can see that adaptation and that constant movement of textiles, that it sort of shows that adaptation aspect that a lot of our Pueblo communities have undergone in order to maintain their cultural traditions, oral histories, and it's just that survival aspect that you can always find within Pueblo textiles and two-dimensional art based on artistic expression of various peoples in each one of the Pueblo communities, because each one is vast and different from one another. Although we are under the umbrella of Pueblo communities, each one has different sort of aspects that blend to the rich history of what is predominantly Pueblo communities within the New Mexico and Arizona regions.
It sounds like understanding from, your expertise of textiles and painting and the symbols, and, that cultural references and, even the evolutions and adaptations. So, all of that, you seem like you're defending both what was done in the past and having respect for that, and also bringing that to the attention of people, like with your teaching, and then building art, sometimes if not inspired by what you're doing. With that, a little bit into your future, what do you see happening for you on the artist front?
Well, for a lot of the different things that I do, I'm always using them as cultural teaching tools. So a lot of my paintings and different visual works, I like to incorporate a lot of hidden imagery within them. And these are all to where I'm utilizing my work to help tell those stories and keep those cultural history, because a lot of our traditions or migration creation stories are all oral, so it's nice to give it sort of that visual aspect to help get our community sort of involved in talking points. Because a lot of times we always do a lot of things based on what we're told, but we never ask really that question, why do we do certain types of things? Or why is it this way? Why is it that way? Utilizing my artwork is always going to be a constant sort of teaching tool that I'll take into the future and always try to encompass in my artwork, so that way it leaves something for the future generation, because a lot of artwork can always be used as inspiration or teaching tools no matter what type of format or media it is.
I agree with that. Again, in this future kind of mindset right now, how's your economic side of being an artist, your business side of the artwork? Have you noticed the changes? And then with those changes that you've noticed, what do you see for yourself on the business front?
For myself, it's a constant growing and learning experience. Unfortunate thing is that since my family is a community of artisans, I grew up in the art show circuit, and it sort of helped me understand the marketing and economic aspect of that. And when I went to university, I took a lot of accounting business classes to help me as I became more entrepreneurial with my artwork. And I always look at it as a business aspect as well as a sort of that artistic aspect. It's constantly changing. With the pandemic, it kind of threw a wrench. But then one of the lucky things about being from a younger generation is we have access to the internet, and I've always been a little tech savvy. Even if I wasn't tech savvy, I have my nephew or Candace that can help assist with any type of things I might come into. But we've mainly been putting a lot of emphasis on the website, helping make sure that we utilize social media marketing in order to boost sales, because a lot of the major funds that are for a lot of show artists are going to big art shows like the Hurt Museum, Santa Fe Indian Market, and all of these different types of art shows that we would travel to and enter into were the main source of income a lot of the times throughout the year. So since the pandemic occurred, a lot of these events had to become more digitalized and become online. It's basically something that we have to relearn and adjust to, but it still has, you're always going to find that constant of people wanting to purchase artwork because a lot of the times you'll notice that there's always a market for something. And that's what we've been trying to tap into in order to stay afloat here. And it's been working good for us at the moment. We're just got to keep being active online and with social media presence so that way we can build our audience.
Thank you, Elroy. How can viewers get in contact with you or see your artwork?
Currently, you can look at the bulk of our artwork at www.natachuink.com, and that's INK like ink pen, not INC. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook with the same social media handles, Natachu Inc. From there, there's various ways to contact us. All of our emails are on the website, our phone numbers, and also contact sheets. We also do offer cultural classes from traditional Pueblo cuisine post and pre-contact, as well as Pueblo embroidery and textile demonstrations, and whatever else we can think of, really.
Thank you, Elroy Natachu. I'm happy that you were able to talk with us today in Indian World. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.